¿Cómo estás? Hola, tudo bem, konnichiwa, aloha, hello, what it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe. Even if you don't love everything that I'm saying, you can still help a brother out, right? It's always easy and free to help a brother out. I love to comment and debate and have conversations about basketball. Please make sure you hit the comment section. We can have any conversation you want about this topic and keep it basketball, but let's keep it PG, all right? Let's keep it humble. Keep it in a situation where we stick to what's being talked about in the video and not try to badmouth each other or be derogatory in any shape or form. What we have here today is we're going to talk about that dadgone Doc Rivers. The Bucks blew it. They choked. And should you be surprised, though? I wasn't. Giannis is one of my favorite players. It's currently, he and SGA are my two favorite players in the league. Him, SGA, and Joker. And my favorite player as of right now, I would say, is probably SGA. But I like the other two as well. I do like the other two. And no, I'm not a bandwagoner. I've been telling my friends how good these three guys were for a long time. And SGA was the real late bloomer. But I was already on Giannis, pause no Diddy. I was already with Joker, pause no bad boy. And SGA is new to the team in the last couple of years. But I think SGA currently is the best player in the NBA. That's just my thought. And the other two are fighting for a second and third, or maybe one, depends on the game. But ultimately, the Bucks lose. Giannis is out the playoffs again, has lost 8 of his last 9 playoff games, which is really bad. And you hate to see it from Giannis. And it's on him too. It is on him too. I'm critical of people when they lose. I think that Giannis has gone through some transitions. I don't know how much input he had onto Middleton and these other people, but Middleton, it's looking like a horrible trade, whoever decided to get rid of Middleton. And the worst trade out of all these things is trading Adrian Griffith or Mike Budenholzer for this bum, Doc Rivers. He's a bum. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, I'm sorry. And I'm sure Doc Rivers is a nice guy in real life. Sounds like a pretty tough guy. Sounds like a good guy overall. He does. But this is just bummy behavior, man. Like, you just blow everything. You're gifted one of the best players in the league, and you lose this series? And the way they lost this game, it was basically like 2 horrible turnovers at the end. Gary Trent Jr. was balling. I mean, he had like 12 points in overtime. They shouldn't even have to go to overtime. At a certain point, Doc's coaching is supposed to put you over the top. At least that's what they say. But it puts you under the bus. Because that's what I see. So it's like, it's terrible, man. He blows another one. And I'm not the only person that's tired of Doc Rivers out here losing every daggone series. And then talking about, and what's even worse is he came out a few months ago and was like, well, at least I make the playoffs and I never get swept. Who cares? Trash. Boy, just be losing for no reason. And now he's making excuses for it? Nah, that's too much, Doc. You gone too far now. You done gone too far now. Too far. So let's listen to what the odd couple had to say. Rob Parker and Kelvin. Kelvin's been on my good side lately. He's been saying a lot of good things. Because before I was on Kelvin's behind. Pause, no Diddy. But recently, Kelvin's been holding it together. So let's see what they had to say.
How did it even get to overtime? We were shocked.
Then you get up 7 with 30 seconds in overtime. You can't lose this game.
Up by 7 with
Giannis,
35 seconds to go.
100% with Doc Rivers. And again, there was an interview with Doc, and he says, I know I get a lot of flack for being losing the most 3-1 series, but you got to be in the playoffs to even have a chance. You got to be, and I never get swept. Nobody talks about that.
Never get swept. That's a badge of honor. I mean, seriously.
And this is coming from a champion coach. Almost won 2. Went to Game 7 versus the Lakers. Ron Artest Meta doesn't hit that shot. Maybe he's a 2-time champion.
Right, but he won a championship.
Winning matters. To be out here acting as if not getting swept is a badge of honor is crazy. And again, this is another game you should have won. And if you go into a Game 6, you never know.
This is as bad as it gets. And I know it's not going to happen because the Bucks got rid of their coach for Doc Rivers.
Adrian Griffin got to be sitting somewhere like, psh,
Really?
I would have had a better season if you kept me, the trajectory of our wins. And I'm sure he feels I could have coached us to some victories.
This, you got to ask yourself, if you're the Bucks, is this a fireable offense? Like, given the history of Doc and what has happened since that championship in Boston, go look. It'll be all over the internet tomorrow. All of the series that he's lost and all of the stuff, because it's just been horrific in the postseason.
It has.
Horrific.
So as you can see, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington are also, they're not, we have no idea what Doc Rivers is doing, man. Doc Rivers is out here just losing games. And some of you might say, oh, well, you're hard on him. Trent Jr. is the one that made the mistake because they had the lead. They had the lead, and they couldn't close it in regulation, and somehow the Pacers managed to tie the game. And then in overtime, they had the lead, as you heard, with like, they were up 7 with like 35 seconds left or something crazy like that. That should have been game over. But somehow they still messed that up. And Gary Trent Jr. made a couple of big mistakes, even though he made some big time shots. So the same way he was winning it is the same way he kind of lost it. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? It's really just kind of crazy how it all happened that way, and it's just a shame. It's just basically a shame. It's just a shame that they lost that game. But it's got to come down to Doc Rivers, because Doc, this happens to him all the time. He definitely is a good coach as far as he can get you to certain places, but then he can't close it. You know, one of the most egregious ones, or actually not the most egregious, is when he was coaching the Magic, and I had actually forgot about this. But the Magic, the same Pistons team, I believe, that beat the Lakers. In fact, let me just double check that, because the Lakers lost in 2000, and the Pistons beat the Lakers in what? Let me see. What year did the Lakers beat the What year did the Pistons beat the Lakers in the finals? It was 2004, okay? 2004. Now, let's see. What year did the Orlando Magic have the Pistons 3-1 and still lost? Oh, that was 2003, so it was the year before. It was the year before. Okay, it was the year before. So, it was the year before, but in 2003, they had Tracy McGrady was on Orlando. They were the underdog, and they had the Pistons. They were beating them 3-1, and Doc couldn't close it out. They ended up losing the series. And that wasn't the most talented Orlando team ever, so it makes sense. But you would think it's just, that time he didn't have the best team. They just kind of got the lead. It was similar to how Kobe and the Lakers got the lead over the Suns 3-1, but they weren't really the better team. And in the first round, it used to be best of 5. So you just had to win 3 games in the first round, and it allowed for more upsets. And then they changed it to best of 4. And at first I was cool. I was like, yeah, more basketball. But now that I think about it, I kind of liked it better when it was best of 5 because there was more upsets. But either way, with best of 4, there's no way the team that's not better can win, in my opinion. I don't think it's possible. You have way too many opportunities in best of 4. But that's just one example. Doc has been losing. Hey, I'm happy, but with the Lakers, when we beat them in 2011, I believe it was, it was a struggle, but we beat them in Game 7 because what does Doc do? He chokes. And the same thing happened with the Bucks. So it's easy to sit up here, and Giannis does deserve to take some of this blame. Giannis has got to take this L. I do think the Pacers are a very underrated team. I think they are extremely tough because everybody can hurt you. Everybody that comes in the game for the Pacers is a problem. Not one guy that comes off that bench is not an issue. Each one can give you 20 points if they're hot and you leave them open. There's no one guy that you can target. They all play pretty good defense. They're extremely fast. They're well organized because Rick Carlisle is one of the best coaches of all time. But Doc, you're getting out coached, getting outplayed, and it just continues. It's a cycle. It's a cycle with Doc Rivers. So is he going to be fired? I don't know, man. Do I wish that he'd get fired? It's hard to do that because you don't, how about if somebody wished that you lost your job and you're trying to take care of your family? But it's a little different because he don't need the money to take care of his family. So if maybe he does need to lose a job for a while, just being honest. I'm sorry. It's just too much with him. But, I don't know. It's just too much with him. So the Bucks are done. The Pacers win. Doc fails again. In fact, we need to turn this into like some type of Shannon Sharp joint where it's like, I'm on the run. I don't have fun. Watch out. Somebody's got a gun. Doc Rivers is going to lose in 6 or whatever number you want to put behind it. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. So thank you very much for your time listening to this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Don't click off right away because I got some other videos that I'm sure you will love. Some suggested videos. So I appreciate you. Very humble. Much love. I can tell that somehow you never get old.